I feel like stress is demonized today, and there's good stress and there's bad stress. So let's talk about it. So when it comes to stress, most people talk about distress, which is the bad kind of stress. That's a stressor that you're either unprepared for or that you can't recover from. But there's also eustress, which we really need to grow and learn. And that's a challenge that you feel like you're prepared for, is enjoyable, and it helps you grow. So stress is actually a good thing. We need stress. If we didn't have stress, we wouldn't grow, we wouldn't change. But how you view stress affects whether it's eustress or distress, and it can be just as easy as that. And stress is like, everyone's like, oh, like this is stressful, that is stressful, avoid stress. Like, I feel like that's the conversation on stress. And that's why everyone's such a little everyone's such a little bitch these days, I feel like, because it just depends on the situation. And it honestly, like I said, it does depend on how you view that stressor. Your mind, and this is where the heady in Headywell comes from, but your mind is just, I want to do another video. I hope this one doesn't turn into it, but like, perspective is everything. Perspective is fucking everything. If you view something as tough or difficult or too much or overwhelming or any combination of the or synonyms for those, you're fucked, buddy. You're fucked, because that's how it's gonna go. That's how you're gonna view it. It's going to feel overwhelming, and your mind is going to look for any bad thing in that situation, and you're going to confirm your bias of, this is fucking hard. This is too hard, actually. Because in eustress, something can be really difficult as well, but in a way that's challenging. And I feel like I'm just repeating myself here, but I really want to make this point, that if you view something as challenging yet good, or challenging yet doable, which is an even better way to look at it, even if it isn't doable yet, you're going to see it as eustress. You're going to feel it as eustress. And I'm a personal trainer, I'm a wellness coach, so I'm going to talk about it in the way of, when it comes to challenges like your workout, when it comes to challenges like your sleep, when it comes to challenges like your nutrition. But this shit applies anywhere. This shit really applies anywhere, and I really recommend that you apply this everywhere, because it's just so fucking helpful. It has completely changed my life. And I'm not fucking perfect, dude. Like, it's not like I go into every situation and I'm like, fucking, let me not, let me not think about this as distress. Let me think about that, like, sometimes I'm a fucking little bitch too. I'm like, oh, this is so much. I don't want to get up. I don't want to eat this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to whatever. I don't want to work out. That's a tough one that I deal with, to be completely honest. And like I said, I'm not fucking perfect just because I have this information. It's a struggle that goes on forever. And so is fucking everything. That's another video I want to make, is like, what race are you running? Most people are, when it comes to fitness, it's like 12 weeks to abs, 6 weeks to abs. And it's like, yeah, you do that fast, but then the way that you got there isn't sustainable. So where are you going to go after that? Whereas if you take the long route there and you learn how to do it sustainably, it's something you can do hopefully forever. And now I'm getting off topic, but good stress and bad stress. And it really is about perspective. It's about how you view them. And obviously there's going to be stressors that you're unprepared for. There's going to be stressors that are too much to handle. That's fucking life, brother. That's fucking life, sister. Like, as me and my girlfriend Kelly say, that's jazz, babe. That's jazz. That's life. You're not gonna avoid stress. There is no avoiding stress. It's impossible. So hopefully, taking the perspective of this stressor is going to help me grow, this stressor is for the better, is something that gives you resilience. And that's a really big word that I like to use in my coaching, is resilience, because you're, like I said, you're never going to avoid stressors. There's always going to be something that you can't handle, or you can't handle as well as you thought. But, and I mean, again, when it comes to wellness and just in life in general, but if you decide to look at the perspective of, well, fuck, that was tough, but it's gonna help me grow. Well, fuck, that was tough. That was really tough, but you know, next time I'll get them. Next time I'll be better. Just that little switch in perspective of eustress versus distress is going to be so fucking helpful. So helpful. And I'm gonna say this, I feel like in every video I make, I'm always say like, oh, you know, some people might think that's dumb. Some people that might think that's stupid. If that's you, well, fuck off. Go watch another video, bud. Or go be like a negative Nancy somewhere else. Like, no one, you know, like, it's just so much better to take that perspective. It's just, and sometimes you're gonna feel stupid. I feel dumb sometimes, you know, like but you know, like on those bad days, I really feel stupid if I'm like, there's something inside of me that's like, yo, dude, like, you know, like next time you'll get them, it'll be better or whatever. And sometimes out loud, I literally say like, oh, fuck that or whatever. But fuck, it's so helpful. It's so helpful because this shit is a fucking journey, brother. This shit is a journey, sister. Like it never stops. Stressors will never stop coming. So if you take that perspective, it's just going to be easier when the next one comes and when the next one comes, because they're going to keep coming. There's no fucking stopping them. That conveyor belt, you do not have control over. And now this is really turning into some philosophical, like mindset, emotional shit. But like, you have to look at what you can control. And that helps in this shit too, in the eustress versus distress and the perspective that you take, because there's only so much that you can control. And most of that is inside. Oh, we're really going there. This is getting real heady. Most of that's inside. Most of the outside world shit, you can hear those sirens. I think like most of this outside world, you don't have control over at all. There's only so much you can control. Even when you set your schedule, shit happens, things that get in the way. If you have kids, they get sick. If you don't have kids, you get fucking hit on your city bike on the way to work and you roll your ankle on the way, or whatever it is. Like, there's always going to be shit that, even if you're doing your best, is uncontrollable. So if you decide to take that perspective, it's so helpful. It's so helpful. And then when you do have that behavior, or sorry, when you do have that stressor that's just a little too much to handle, you focus on recovery and being resilient. And instead you focus on, okay, that was a little too much. How do I turn this into something that's more on the eustress side? How do I recover from this so that I can be better from this experience? Or when this experience comes up again, I handle it a different way and in a more effective way. And there's maybe I can throw that up. It's from Precision Nutrition, which I got a certification. It's a sleep, recovery, and stress management cert that, I mean, completely fucking changed my life and the way that I coach. And it's always how I've wanted to coach, in this kind of heady way. And they have this worksheet that is a sphere of control worksheet. And it's like things you can control, things you can somewhat control, and things that are outside of your control. And even if you just mentally go through that practice and you categorize something as within your control, somewhat within your control, or out of your control, it just lifts it. This weight is just off of your shoulders. If you're like, well, fuck it, I can't control that, so what can I do about it now? Instead of sitting there and crying about it, or like, and I don't want to like be mean and say that crying isn't effective. That's not fair. I cry sometimes when something is too overwhelming as well. But like, it cuts the time between this self-pity and then the steps to move forward from it. Like if you, oh gosh, I'm not going to get into this right now. This will be a separate video. But to wrap up, now I'm really rambling. We went all over the place. You really see how my brain works. But eustress versus distress. There's two kinds of stress. Don't let anyone tell you that all stress is bad. You need stress to grow. You need stress to grow. So sometimes we need to seek out stress. Some of you might be in that situation. Like life's a little too easy. You're not growing in the ways that you want. Pick something that's tough. Pick something that's hard. And if we want to go in the exercise route, maybe you've been doing your 3 sets of 10 forever in the gym. Pick something else. Go, start shifting towards the 8s and the 6s and the 5s and the 3s and the 1s on your sets. Build some strength. Go into something that's tough for you. And then when you come back to those 3x10s, you're going to be able to use so much more weight. You're going to build more muscle there. And then you go through another cycle. It's just everything is stress. Everything is stress and recovery. Good stressors that help us grow, and recovery helps us to handle the bad stressors, the distress that we aren't able to handle at that moment. And sleep, I'm gonna plug sleep here. Like sleep is the best thing for recovery. Precision Nutrition calls it the recovery rockstar. It helps with fucking everything. Mental, physical, emotional. It just is going to help you recover from so much shit. So my plug is always sleep more. Eustress, distress. I started going all over the place. Make sure that you take the perspective of, I don't want to say make sure, because I don't always do it. I'm a fucking health and wellness coach, and I don't always do what I need to be doing. It's just, nothing is perfect. Sometimes I don't want to fucking work out, and I go on a walk I don't want to do my hard workout, and I go on a walk instead. Is that the best? No. If I did it all the time, then maybe it's bad. But on a day where I just know I can't handle that, I go for a stressor that I know I can handle that day. So no one's perfect. Even health coaches don't do everything that they should be doing. Please take the perspective of, this is a stressor that is good for me. This is a stressor that's going to help me grow. Or what can I do from this stressor that was just a little bit too much? Peace.